And to talk about a child and bring up a traumatic event where he was robbed and jumped and brutally assaulted is just deplorable. Terrible to bring that up. Well, and in front of someone who's intoxicated at that and dealt with that vicariously through me. You know, he was someone who supported me through all of that and gave his best wishes. That was a fucking terrifying experience as a mother. Fucking disgusting that people would even bring that up. Triggering, too. Very triggering. Terrifying experience that I would never, ever want to subject myself to again, which is, as a result, why we moved. And they just can't hold on. They just keep holding on. I don't really know what they're holding on to. I don't know, Brittany. They're fucked in the head. He can't bring that drama into the picture, or I'm not going to continue streaming with him. He needs to have some self-discipline and boundaries. Jax, Chrissy, thanks for the follow. Maddie, thanks for the follow. That just even reminding myself of what happened last year. It just, that fucked my whole life up. Like, I've gained weight. I haven't been the same person ever since. It all boils down to money, and I didn't have enough of it back then. When it was May of 2024, I had $5,000 to $6,000 in the bank. I had just paid off all my rent for 5 months, my other rent for 5 months. My car had just gotten multi-point inspection. That shit was like $5,000. I just rented a car for 8 days or 7 or 8 days, which was like almost $2,000 fucking dollars. I had birthdays. I had just spent like 17 grand close to. And then I had like $6,000 left in the bank. Next thing you know, our whole fucking life is at risk because my son decided to get involved with these same group of kids again, these criminals. He decides to give them another chance. Next thing you know, his life is at risk. My life is at risk. It was fucking terrifying. I never want to deal with that again in my life. And then the next thing you know, I have to move. My landlord wouldn't refund me the rent I prepaid. I never got that money back. I never got the money back, by the way. The landlord in Jamestown never paid me back. The landlord who I rented the garage from never paid me back. And I got the fuck out of there. And we were safe ever since, you know? It's just, at the end of the day, when you put a story on the internet and advocate for yourself and reach out for help, there's always going to be a batshit crazy group of conspiracy theorists who want to go up against you. And I don't have time for that. I've been in survival mode ever since. My goal is to save $100,000. My goal is to save $300,000 and buy a house cash. And I don't fucking know. But in the event I'm ever in an emergency situation like that again, I don't have to be financially insecure and I can protect myself and my children in the event our lives are in danger and we have to move. That was scary. It's fucking scary when there's a crazy group of criminals committing gang activities targeting you. It's not an easy experience to come out on top of. And I somehow, with all of your support, got the fuck out of there. And it was terrifying. It was a terrifying experience. And we are now moved and safe. And so anyway, being a mom is one of the most difficult jobs there is, especially single, because you're vulnerable when you're a single mom. There's no other way around it. Look at a lion and a lioness and their cubs. They're both all together. The two are together and the cubs are safe. But when the lioness is alone with her cubs and the lion and the king or whatever is off 2 miles away, that leaves a single lioness vulnerable with her cubs to hyenas taking the cubs. I always feel this way as a single mom. I've been a single mom now for almost 3 years. People really do. They really do target single moms. They make moms, because single parents are vulnerable. It's just that simple. There's not another adult figure to back them up. And it's not the easiest job to be a single mom. You know, like in the wild with lions, if you want to make that analogy, if you want to listen to me make that analogy again. The currency is what? Hunting for food. The currency is dwelling and like traveling and working together as a pack for shelter, somewhere safe. In the sense of being a single mom, the currency is money, and that equates to food. That equates to shelter. And then if you ever think about it, if lions didn't travel in a pack, if it were just a single lioness and 3 cubs, that would be much more of a difficult task for her to hunt and find a safe place to dwell without other predators around her targeting her cubs. And it just goes to show humans are apex predators, and they target single moms because they can, because children are vulnerable, and children are easy to weaponize against the single mom. And it's like what I've dealt with on this app. People fucking weaponize my children against me and try to tear me down. And I have been in survival mode ever since my son got jumped and robbed. I haven't been the same. I haven't gone back to the gym. All I want to do is save money. Because at the end of the day, money is the currency that builds up, that puts insurance on our safety and protection in the event something scary happens. Like what happened in May of 2024. In the event something scary happens, I didn't have enough money at that point in time. I saved it. I had a lot of support. Thank you, Will. I love you too. And I was grateful for everyone who helped and all of that. But it's a life lesson as a single parent. Have money in the bank. Because if something fucked up happens and you don't have it, you're fucked. And then there's people who want to take my income away. You know what I mean? They want that. Because I'm a vulnerable single mom and they like it. They're predators and they want to see my income go away because again, income is the currency. Money is the currency. They want to destroy that because they're abusers. These people who gang stalk me want to see my income come to a halt, because money is the currency that keeps me and my children safe. And these people weaponize my children and use them against me, which is why they would target my ex who I have a child with, which is why they would target my children and host live streams about them. They're predators. And the more people participate in behavior like that, the worse it gets. It's like, and there's really no shutting it down until the law gets involved. And as crazy as it sounds, some of these people have already broken the law. And that's why I had to get an attorney this past week. But that's something I can't talk about on here. My skin is clear because I'm vegan. I drink a lot of water. I take supplements, and I eat lots of fruits and nuts. Nuts in particular. If you eat raw cashews compared to roasted cashews, one, raw cashews don't have salt. Two, they aren't roasted, so they preserve their natural oils like vitamin E, and they are rich in antioxidants. So if you want clear skin, like mine, with or without the enhanced filter, let's turn off the enhanced filter. You know, I'm 33. I'm almost 34. I took my makeup off earlier, but for the most part, my skin is clear, no zits. When I PMS, I get zits. My skin is clear because I'm vegan. I eat a lot of fruits, nuts, and all that stuff. And I don't put anything on my face. No foundation, bronzer, none of that stuff. I don't use makeup for my face part. I just put eyeliner, mascara, sometimes eyeshadow on. But as far as my skin goes, I don't put anything on it. But anyway, hey, Salty Girl, what's up? Thank you, Jen. Shelly, I think your comments are getting filtered. I have keyword filters. If you're commenting, I don't know what's getting filtered, but something is. Did you write a comment, Shelly? Oh, okay. Yeah, so he was a mess. It's fun to have drinks when you're home alone and night free and all that, but not in the case where you're battling a TikTok influencer who has a crazy mob of stalkers. Not a good idea. Those two don't mix well. Like me, if I were drunk on TikTok Live, I would still have the discipline to completely disassociate from the psycho mob of trolls. And I know this because I remember. Even no matter how much I drink, I still remember. But, and it's funny, they think, oh, she must be blacked out or something. Fuck no. I remember all of that. Every single one of you. Begging to join a box, begging me to open multi-guest, begging to battle me. Like, Jesus Christ. You guys commit cyber crimes on a weekly basis. And just because I've had some drinks, you think that I'm like blacked out and not going to recall that? And I have boundaries. You know what I mean? Even when I drink. Super guarded human I am. And I wasn't always like that. And I was very open and transparent. My guard was off in the beginning when I started TikTok, but I'll tell you, I've definitely developed one hell of a backbone when it comes to where I am now compared to the beginning. You know, the world isn't yours. You don't own it. And when you have a lot of freedom, the freedoms that come with being an influencer, that's a huge responsibility. Think of the freedoms, okay? There are a lot of freedoms that come with being an influencer. You have financial freedom. That doesn't come instantly. You have freedom of time. That doesn't come in instantly. Give it 2 years. You have, freedom to make as many connections as you want. You have freedom to work with people in collaborations, make videos, live streams, stuff like that. Now think about how irresponsible you could be with those 3 or 4 freedoms. You could be so irresponsible with financial freedom, right? And that can destroy you. Like, think about all the money some of these people make and they blow it on designer clothing and luxury cars. Your future isn't guaranteed. Your income is never guaranteed. I would say until you save $1.5 million, you should hold off on the excessive spending. There's a reason I always wear the same clothes in rotation. I'm not a dumbass. I save my money. Okay. And then there's freedom of time. And you spend your time wisely. Freedom of time, right? Focus on growing your platforms. Focus on looking for new opportunities. Like I look for Amazon influencer program. I look into products and I need to make more videos for Amazon. I haven't made a lot of those yet. I don't like to travel that much because that ties into spending money and I'm saving my money. Then there's like freedom of making any connection you want. You really can. The opportunities are so abundant. I'm very picky about who I talk to on here, who I have private messages with on here. This is why sometimes there's people like that moderator the other day. I wouldn't even open a DM with them because I know how people are. People, I don't trust them that easily. I'm fucking weird, man. I'm very guarded. And some people go viral. Their social media sets off and they're irresponsible in every way you can possibly imagine. But anyway, it's like a free-for-all for them. They'll talk to anyone. They'll meet up with anyone to make collaborations with. They'll spend their money like they're millionaires, even though they're finally like making good money for the first time in their life. That's my thing. Like even before I earned money on social media, when I was doing Uber driving, I made a lot of money doing that. And I did. I was making like sometimes $1,000 to $1,200 a weekend. And that was a lot of money for me because I used to work in public school. And if you know the wages they pay public school employees, I was probably making like, oh God, what, $12 an hour? And what is that, like $300 a week? Something crazy like that. I was bartending. I made good money bartending. I made more money bartending than I made at the school. Okay, so rewind. I started making really good money Uber driving, and I was only making like probably $2,000 or $3,000 a month. That was good for me, right? Compared to what I was making when I was in Pennsylvania bartending and working in the school. And I was panicked by that. I was like, oh, I'm saving all of it, going crazy, saving all of it. And I would choose to pay my rent in advance. Then I started making gradually more money on my app, TikTok, when I monetized my video views. And that was good. That was really good. I didn't have to Uber drive anymore. But I was still crazy. Because it's like when you live at the poverty line, like right above it, for such an extended period of time, I've talked about this before, you develop what's called financial PTSD. So when you finally start making a livable wage after making an unlivable wage, it's traumatizing because you don't know how long it's going to last. It's scary. And which is what I'm trying to say here is you never know what the future holds. So like it's more responsible to save your money versus go out and splurge. And I see a lot of creators, people on here who blow up and they blow their money, and I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that. Plus that's like not very minimalistic. I'm a minimalist. Kirsten, I like your name. Thanks for the follow. Psycho Bear, thanks for the follow. Taylor, hello. It's like reckless spending makes me uncomfortable. T-Lin, thanks for the follow. Salty Girl has shared my life 78, going on 80 times. Amy, I don't understand why the trolls are subscribing to me right now. Stacy, thanks for the follow. I don't know how many times I have to say, I don't want you to contact me. Please stop contacting me before this turns into a police report, period. Girly girl thinks, like, think of it this way. If I had some crazy ex, not Don, like, okay, let's pretend I had a crazy roommate who I didn't want contact with, and I said, stop contacting me. And then the crazy roommate I blocked, and they kept contacting me and circumvented the block. It's the same situation. Stop contacting me. I don't want you to contact me or contact me through third parties. Leave me alone. But nonetheless, yeah. Yeah, apple juice. I mean, no. Some people might like renting, and that's understandable. But I mean, if they're living with their family or something, yeah. Thank you, Kayla. But they could be codependent on their family. I mean, the way people spend their money is none of our business. We can't control how people spend it. We can't even criticize them because some people are not welcome to open criticism. You know what I mean? However, a lot of us want to control the way they spend it, and we want to criticize them because we see them make the same mistakes we have made. Jennifer, thanks for the follow. And it's really frustrating watching someone make mistakes that you've learned from. Like I sat there tonight and watched my ex make mistakes that I had made in my past as an influencer. You know what I mean? Being so easy to access and giving away so much information. I used to do that. I learned not to do that. I would say me above all learned the hard way. I above others learned that the hard way. Nikki, thanks for the follow. Really did learn that the hard way. And it sucks because you should be able to live your life freely. And yeah, you should be able to give away information like, I don't know, what your plans are for the day without people stalking you. But unfortunately, life doesn't always go that way. You can't just live freely like that.